Hello guys, this is Avcoor, and this is the second video on the newest hero Hazel. And all of us have been waiting for a long time for Hazel to come out. She's been here since the Gabriel and Seminar banner, so it's been a long time coming, and she does not disappoint, but I do have a couple of issues, and I hope they get resolved. And then I would say that she'd be a great character, but we're gonna have to look at this and we're gonna have to examine her. And there's just some questions that I have personally about her, and maybe someone sees it differently, but I see it my way, and we're gonna get into it right now.
책에서는 그가 수많은
Like,
악마와 마주했다고 했어요. 악마는 그의 뼈를 뽑아 고통스럽게 하고 농락했습니다. 수도원의 평범한 사람들은 이런 위대한 것을 생각지도 못하지요.
wow, I thought she was gonna say some more. Let's look at her from this perspective. She's a priest and she's lightning, so this will be the third elemental healer that we have because we already have Valek for fire. We already have Lohanes for water. We have Alicia for dark. We have Clefairy for light. And now we have Hazel for lightning. And that's really a good thing because it allows you to diversify your team building. And that's always good because you need flexibility in team building. So this is necessary. And she uses Catalyst, which is really good because Lohanes and Clefairy use Catalyst. So it's easier to build her equipment set because you can just take their equipment set and put it on her. So that's really good. That makes her very easy to use. From that standpoint, she's already good. So let's go to her stats, which are really impressive. If you look at her stat line and you look at Clefairy's stat line, it's pretty much the same. And that's a good thing because Clefairy has an amazing stat line to be a healer. AHP is nothing to look at and not be amazed that a healer has that. Every healer that has A and above HP is already top tier because they got to survive in order to heal. And people don't understand that in PvP and PvE content, especially late game PvE content, healers can get wiped like there's no tomorrow. They just get wiped if their stats aren't on par. There are some battles that I just couldn't clear because their HP just wasn't high enough and they couldn't take the AoE damage. So this is important. The building blocks of a healer is HP, physical defense, and magic defense, and the other stuff you worry about later. Concentration is not that important. Magic attack is mildly important, but HP, defense, and magic defense, those stats have to be at least B and above. And you want an S in magic defense, and you want your HP to be at least B or A, and she's hitting A, so her stat line is perfect. I mean, you could ask for more, but you shouldn't. So let's look at her unique passive, Hasty Lightning. So if you have a buff, you're increasing your healing by 20%. When increasing and using a healing type skills on allies, solid armor to a single ally. So that's really good. So she's already getting magical defense to everybody she heals. That's really good. If you use skills that are not healing type for allies, you get sensitive to that character, so you get increased crit to that guy. You get increased crit, which is good. At the start of a turn, if you have a unit within the space that is less than 100%, you'll be able to do spirit, get 2 mobility to yourself for 1 turn. So that's all great, but I have a problem, and you'll see it right here. So, Blessing of Lightning grants precision to an ally, physical and magical penetration plus 20%, anger 20% one's own attack on a target, 20% on attack on a target with advantageous attributes. So if you got a elemental advantage, you get even more damage, which is really good. Blessing of Lightning is actually extremely good, honestly. I have no complaints about that. An airway of thunder. When using the skill, teleport your allies within one range. When using this skill, teleport your allies within one range of you and restore their HP by 0.7%. Sensitive and this the light of day. 50% less fixed damage. Receive. This is important. This is super important. 2D buff removed at the end of action. 30% recovery of max HP. Non-removable, non-stealing. This is important because I think she's here to counter the elective meta where you deal fixed damage. Excuse me. She's supposed to reduce the fixed damage you receive, so that's what Light of Day is for. And you're supposed to be able to crit, so I guess that's great. I guess this is great, but something is missing, and we'll continue until it's over, and I'll tell you what's missing. There's something big is missing. So this is a great skill though. Beacon of Hope. You're gonna restore HP to all our allies in the area. Debuff. Remove two debuffs. Active skill cooldown for all allies reduced by one. This is amazing. This is an amazing healing spell. Excuse me. So it's 4 tiles around yourself. You remove status effects, and you drop down the cooldown time, which is really good. I like all the skill that she has, but something is missing. When using the skill, the debuff held by all allies in range, remove remove the debuff to restore HP. Yeah, that's Divine Prayer. Alicia has this, and it's really good, so I'm not worried about this. This is the skill that Clefairy has, where you heal everybody and they get recovery on their turn after they engage in a battle. This is a key healing spell for tanks, so that's important. When you're done surrounding attack power, the highest level of magic attack power you get a buff. That's good. We talked about this. Blessing of Lightning. Blessing of Lightning is good. All allies in scope when using skill, Lightning Shield. 20% in critical hit damage. Yeah, this is really good for crits. It's alright, I suppose. When using skill teleport, yeah, we talked about that, and you heal them, which is really good. We're going to restore HP to all allies in range. Remove 2 debuff. Active skill cooldown for all allies. Yeah, we talked about that. So we talked about all this. So tell me what is missing. Tell me what's missing. What why is Avcoor so scared of this character? And why I don't think she's good
책에서는
at
그가 수많은
and why I don't think she's good at PvE content, period. There's a reason I think she's not good at PvE content, period. That's because she doesn't have her basic healing skill. So she doesn't have the basic healing skill. Like the no cost that heals and removes one debuff. She doesn't have that. And that's a big no no for PvE content. That's a big no no. This is what I'm upset with Hazel. She does have her generic healing skill, and I don't think that's like good. Cause if you go to Bright Futures and
이곳은 영역 개척. 아비아를 돌봐주셔서 감사합니다.
no power
바로스에 있을
therapy,
때보다 훨씬 웃음이 많아졌어요.
no way. I think power therapy is like a must have for every healer. If she does not have that, that's what upsets me about the character. She doesn't have power therapy. She doesn't have a generic healing skill that she can spam all the time. That's bad. For me,
책에서는 그가
that's bad. But when you look at her companions, of course, it's Seminar and Gabriel. So that's good. So if you were smart and you summon both of them, this is going to be an easy character to use because you'll unlock all her bonds that way. The fact that she doesn't have a generic healing skill is a big no-no to me. So let's look at gathering of weapons. Let's go to wish list, and they like kind of fix this with her unique weapon. Where's it at? Star of Fate. Oh, what the hell? So magic attack plus 5%, magic defense plus 1%. We don't like that. We want to see HP. Okay. Increase the healing effect for friendly units with buff within 4 components. If you have a buff at the end of action, recover the HP of 2 allies with the lowest HP within 4 compartments around you. So this actually fixes her problem, but it's hard to get a unique weapon unless you roll like crazy for it. So the counter argument to Hazel is, well, she doesn't have a generic paratherapy healing skill, but if you have Star of Fate, you don't worry about that because you buff her and she just passively heals everybody. But the thing about it is, Clefairy can do that too, and sometimes it's simply not enough. You want the combination of power therapy and her passive healing in order to get the ball rolling and recovering your allies. I like the fact that, excuse me, they're pushing the boundaries of healers. I think you should, but I just think they should give her power therapy. That's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. So we're looking for allies she can work with. So let's go to glossary.
새로운 세계,
The heroes she can work with
새로운
is
시작.
obvious. You want Electo, you want Silva, you pretty much want Richard, you want and and you definitely want Catch. I think Catch is her best tank because the way that Hazel works is she wants people close to her to benefit from her buffs and her healing, and Catch is a tank that likes to be next to her team, so they work well in tandem together. Richard is actually good too because he could push people out of the way. He pushes Electo out of the way. He pushes Coil out of the way, and he makes space and breathing room. So her two best tanks are actually PvP tanks because obviously she's a PvP healer because the way she constructed, they just made her for PvP, and I'm kind of satisfied that they did because sometimes when you make a game too generic, it gets boring. So the fact that they kind of like thought outside the box and said no power therapy is showing that the devs are actually trying to create some distinction between people and how you play. So I'm actually satisfied with that. As far as equipment sets go,
이곳은 영역계적 작업 부서다. 아비아를 돌봐주셔서 감사합니다.
she really wants her unique weapon. Like Clefairy can get away with not having her unique weapon. I don't think Hazel can do that. But she wants a weapon that increases her healing done. She wants accessory that keeps her alive. I think it's important for Hazel to stay alive because you're putting her in the throes of PvP where she's constantly getting attacked by AoE damage. So I think her HP is the most valuable stat that she has because her unique passive already gets her increased healing, and Guardian of Heaven will actually increase her healing some more. And if she has a weapon like this, she increases her healing effect some more. So she really doesn't need to have like extremely high magic attack. That's not really necessary. And besides, running True Cross will actually give her more increased healing. So her to the point where her magic stat becomes a little negligible. You want HP, defense, and magic defense, more so HP and defense, so she can stay alive. Because Electo does physical damage, Cool does physical damage, Richard does physical damage. Catch does physical damage. A lot of the characters in PvP do physical damage or fixed damage. Catherine does magic damage, but a lot of her damage is fixed damage. So Hazel's HP is the most important stat for her as any healer that engages in PvP. The fact that she has rank A HP solidifies her position in my mind. Excuse me. So is she a must summon? No, because she's specifically designed for PvP. And PvP is ultimately in a Wells game in this game. And if you're going to play her, she needs to be at her highest level. But if you like my content, hit the like, share, subscribe button. I'll get back to you later.